bridge that crosses the Yellowstone River in Montana collapsed early Saturday, plunging portions of a freight train carrying hazardous materials into the rushing water below. Let's dive into the details, shall we? The train cars were carrying hot asphalt and molten sulfur, Stillwater County Disaster and Emergency Services said. Officials shut down drinking water intakes downstream while they evaluated the danger after the 6 a.m. accident. An Associated Press reporter witnessed a yellow substance coming out of some of the tank cars. That doesn't sound good. David Stamey, the county's chief of emergency services, said there was no immediate danger for the crews working at the site, and the hazardous material was being diluted by the swollen river. There were 3 asphalt cars and 4 sulfur cars in the river. The United States Environmental Protection Agency notes that sulfur is a common element used as a fertilizer as well as an insecticide, fungicide, and rodenticide. Yeah, so you probably don't want to be drinking that. The train crew was safe and no injuries were reported, Montana Rail Link spokesman Andy Garland said in a statement. The asphalt and sulfur both solidify quickly when exposed to cooler temperatures, he said. That's interesting, so I'm guessing if it solidifies, it's not as likely to go into the drinking water. Railroad crews were at the scene in Stillwater County, near the town of Columbus, about 40 miles west of Billings. The area is in a sparsely populated section of the Yellowstone River Valley, surrounded by ranch and farmland. The river there flows away from Yellowstone National Park, which is about 110 miles southwest. We are committed to addressing any potential impacts to the area as a result of this incident and working to understand the reason behind the accident, Garland said. The bridge collapse also took out a fiber optic cable, providing internet service to many customers in the state. The high-speed provider GlobalNet said. This is the major fiber route through Montana, a recording on the company's phone line said Saturday. This is affecting all GlobalNet customers. Connectivity will either be down or extremely slow. In neighboring Yellowstone County, officials said they instituted emergency measures at water treatment plants due to the potential hazmat spill and asked residents to conserve water. Yeah, luckily it seems like the river's so flooded and everything that it'll probably just get diluted, but definitely better to be safe than sorry. The cause of the collapse is under investigation. The river was swollen with recent heavy rains, but it's unclear whether that was a factor. The Yellowstone saw record flooding in 2022 that caused extensive damage to Yellowstone National Park and adjacent towns in Montana. Robert Bay, a retired engineering professor at the University of California, Berkeley, who has analyzed the cause of hundreds of major disasters, said repeated years of heavy river flows provided a clue to the possible cause. Yeah, I understand there's been years of flooding, but is there like no inspection or anything like that? You could do repairs. It's funny how we have all this money apparently to send to Ukraine to help them fight Russia, but we don't have the money to fix our infrastructure, even though the Democrats, last year passed the infrastructure bill, but infrastructure doesn't seem like it's getting fixed, does it? The high water flow translates to high forces acting directly on the pier and, importantly, on the river bottom, Bay said. You can have erosion or scour that removes support from the foundation. High forces translate to a high likelihood of structural or foundation failure that could act as a trigger to initiate the accident. An old highway bridge that paralleled the railroad bridge, together they were called the Twin Bridges, was removed in 2021 after the Montana Department of Transportation determined it was in imminent danger of falling. It wasn't immediately clear when the railroad bridge was constructed or when it was last inspected. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. The bridge right next to it already was about to fail, so they just demolished the whole thing. They didn't even repair it. That's pretty interesting. But you would think this one would have been inspected around the same time in 2021, but all the heavy flooding, 2 years is a long time. They said investigators would also want to look at whether there was wear or rust in bridge components, as well as a record of maintenance, repair, and inspections. Federal Railroad Administration officials were at the scene. Kelly Hitchcock, of Columbus water users shut off the flow of river water into an irrigation ditch downstream from the collapsed bridge to prevent contents from the tank cars from reaching nearby farmland. So luckily it seems like people snapped into action really quick, and diverted very much danger of this, but it's still just crazy. All of these accidents with trains and infrastructure recently, like I said, we spend all this money to overseas and everything. It's just why don't we ever fix the problems that are here? But that's just my opinion on this story. What's your opinion? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for daily news updates, hit that notification bell, and share this video to help spread the news. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.